Before we go one step further, please subscribe to this channel right now because what I'm about to tell you matters. If you are over 60 and you keep hearing that the answer to aging skin is simply drink more water, I need to stop that idea before it wastes one more month of your time. Hydration matters, yes, but plain water by itself does not give your skin the raw materials it needs to rebuild structure. And if your skin has started looking thinner, looser, drier, or more wrinkled over the past few years, that is not just a moisture problem. It is a collagen problem. After the age of 60, your body is making less collagen, and the collagen you still have is not the same strong, tightly organized collagen you had at 40. It breaks down faster, it repairs more slowly. And in many people, especially after menopause, the skin barrier becomes weaker too. So what happens? The cheeks look flatter, the jawline softens, the neck begins to crease. Fine lines stop being fine and start becoming permanent. And this is where so many people get misled because they think if they just keep drinking glass after glass of water, their skin will somehow bounce back. But skin aging is deeper than thirst and deeper than dryness. Now, let me be very clear. I am not telling you to drink less water. That would be foolish. Your body needs water for circulation, temperature control, digestion, and every cell you have. But plain water is passive. It hydrates, it does not instruct, it does not signal fibroblasts, it does not provide targeted collagen peptides. It does not meaningfully change the biological conversation happening inside aging skin. And once you understand that distinction, the whole picture changes. Because there is one thing you can add to your water that has actual human data behind it when it comes to skin hydration, elasticity, and visible aging. And no, it is not lemon. It is hydrolyzed collagen peptides. That is the ingredient, not a trendy beauty elixir, not a celebrity powder with gold packaging. Not a sugary glow drink that tastes like candy and does almost nothing. Hydrolyzed collagen peptides. These are small collagen fragments that are broken down enough to be absorbed through the digestive tract. And that matters because whole collagen is too large to be absorbed intact in a useful way. Peptides are different. They are smaller, more biologically active, and in several trials they have been associated with improvements in hydration and elasticity over time. Not overnight, but measurably over weeks. And I know some of you are skeptical, and honestly, you should be skeptical because the supplement industry has earned that skepticism. There are exaggerated claims everywhere. Some products are underdosed. Some are full of sweeteners, flavorings, and fillers. Some are expensive nonsense in a pretty tub. But when we strip the hype away and look at the better human studies, there is a signal here that is worth your attention. Especially if you are over 60 and noticing that your skin is no longer holding itself the way it used to. So today, I'm going to walk you through 6 reasons adding collagen peptides to water can outperform plain water for aging skin, and why reason number 1 changes everything. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Put your age in the comments and tell me the first place where you noticed your skin changing most. Was it your neck? Your jawline? Around the mouth, under the eyes? I read those comments and they genuinely helped me decide what I make next for this channel. And if you've ever tried collagen before, tell me how long you used it and whether you noticed anything at all, because one of the biggest mistakes people make is quitting too early before the biology even has time to respond. So let's begin with number 6, and this is the simplest point of all. Plain water can fill your system, but it cannot supply the amino acid fragments your skin uses to rebuild support. Think of your skin like a house. Water is useful, yes. It keeps the worksite functioning. But if the beams are weak, if the scaffolding is failing, if the support columns are thinning, you do not solve that by bringing more water to the construction site. You need building material. Collagen peptides provide peptide-rich glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, the same amino acid pattern associated with collagen structure. That is why they are different from just staying hydrated. Number 5 is absorption, and this is where most people misunderstand what collagen actually is. They hear the word collagen and imagine it just sits in the stomach and gets wasted. That is not quite right. Hydrolyzed collagen peptides are broken into much smaller dipeptides and tripeptides, and some of those small fragments can be absorbed and circulate in the body. That does not mean every scoop becomes facial collagen. It does not work that way. But it does mean these peptides are not nutritionally identical to plain protein powder and not identical to bone broth either. Bone broth is highly variable. Hydrolyzed peptides are far more standardized, which matters if you want consistent dosing. Number 4 is hydration, and this is where the human evidence becomes much more interesting. In multiple controlled trials, participants taking oral collagen peptides showed measurable improvements in skin hydration compared with placebo. In one randomized trial, changes in hydration were seen as early as 4 weeks, which is much faster than most people expect. Now, I want to keep your expectations realistic. This does not mean your face suddenly looks 15 years younger in a month. It means the skin can hold moisture better, function better, and often look less tired, less papery, and less dull. And for older skin, that matters a lot more than people realize. Why? Because dry aging skin does not just look thirsty, it also tends to look flatter, rougher, and more lined. When the outer layers of skin lose moisture, small creases become more visible. The surface starts reflecting light poorly. The face loses that soft, even appearance that we associate with healthy skin. So when a supplement improves hydration from the inside, even modestly, the visual effect can be more meaningful than the word hydration sounds. People often think hydration is a small cosmetic bonus. It is not. For mature skin, hydration is one of the fastest ways to make the face look more alive, more comfortable, and less fragile. Number 3 is elasticity, and this is where collagen peptides start separating themselves from ordinary water in a much bigger way. Elasticity is your skin's ability to spring back instead of just hanging there after movement, sleep, gravity, or facial expression. As collagen quality drops with age, that rebound gets weaker. The skin begins to drape instead of recover. In several reviews and randomized trials, oral collagen supplementation has been linked with improvements in skin elasticity over roughly 8 to 12 weeks, sometimes a bit sooner, sometimes later. That time frame is important because people often expect supplements to behave like makeup, but they behave more like gardening. You do not plant a seed on Tuesday and complain on Thursday that nothing has grown. Biology needs repetition. Fibroblasts need signals. Tissue remodeling needs time. Skin turnover needs time, so if you add collagen peptides to water for 9 days and then decide it didn't work, you have not really tested it. Most of the better studies look at daily intake over weeks, not days. That is exactly why adding it to water is so smart. Water is already a habit. You are not trying to remember one more pill bottle at 3 p.m. You are attaching the supplement to something you already do, which dramatically increases consistency. Now, number 2 is something almost nobody explains well, and it may be the most important point for seniors specifically. When you are older, the problem is not only that collagen production slows, it is that the environment around your skin becomes less supportive of repair. Fibroblasts become less active. Oxidative stress accumulates. Sun damage from decades past keeps showing up in the present. In many women, menopause accelerates collagen decline. So when someone over 60 says, "My skin suddenly looks thinner," that is usually not in their imagination. It is structural, it is biological. And plain water, however healthy, does not speak directly to that structural problem. Collagen peptides at least address it at the material level, which is why they matter. And now number 1, the single biggest reason I would tell a senior to stop drinking plain water and add collagen peptides instead is that this turns hydration into delivery. That is the breakthrough. It transforms a passive daily habit into a repeated biologic input. Every glass becomes an opportunity not just to hydrate, but to provide targeted peptide fragments your aging skin may actually use. And in the studies that showed benefits, the doses were often not outrageous at all. We are not talking about swallowing giant handfuls of powder for no reason. In some trials, benefits appeared with relatively modest daily amounts, which means this can be simple, sustainable, and practical. Now let's go deeper because I do not want you to hear this and then run out and buy the first collagen product you see. That is how people waste money. First, the form matters. You want hydrolyzed collagen peptides, sometimes called collagen hydrolysate. Those are the words to look for. If the label is vague, I get cautious. If it is mostly beauty branding and very little substance, I get even more cautious. Second, the sugar content matters. If the powder is loaded with sugar, syrup solids, or dessert-like additives, you are introducing one of the very things that can work against healthy collagen over time. Sugar is not your friend here, especially not in a daily habit. Third, source matters a little, but not in the way marketing claims. Marine collagen, bovine collagen, and mixed source collagen are all heavily advertised. In reality, the most important question is not which celebrity says it is best. It is whether the product gives you a clear dose, decent ingredient transparency, and ideally some quality testing. If you have a fish allergy, obviously marine collagen is off the table. If you follow a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, most traditional collagen products will not fit that. And I want to say this honestly, the evidence for plant-based collagen boosters is not as established as the evidence for hydrolyzed animal-derived collagen peptides. That may change, but that is where we are right now. Fourth, timing is less important than consistency. People ask, should I take it in the morning? At night? On an empty stomach? Here is my answer. The best time is the time you will actually do it every day. If adding it to your first glass of water in the morning makes it automatic, do that. If afternoon is easier, do that. The studies do not suggest some magical minute on the clock when collagen suddenly becomes effective. What matters is repeated use over time, not supplement superstition. I personally think morning works well because it anchors the routine before life gets noisy, and that makes adherence much easier. Fifth, you need to be patient enough to let the signal become visible. Some people may notice subtle changes in how their skin feels within a month. Others will not notice anything until 8 or 12 weeks. And some people, to be fair, may notice very little. That is the honest answer. Not everyone responds the same way. This is not a guaranteed transformation. But when it works, the changes usually show up in a pattern. The skin feels less dry first. Then it looks a little less creased. Then it begins to seem slightly more resilient, less tired around the mouth and cheeks. Those are not dramatic movie montage changes, but they are meaningful. And I want to pause right here because this is where honest science matters. A newer meta-analysis raised a very important caution. When researchers separated out studies by funding source and quality, the impressive effects became less certain. That does not mean collagen peptides do nothing. It means the strength of the evidence is more mixed than marketers want you to believe. And frankly, I appreciate that. I would rather tell you the truth than sell you fantasy. The real world takeaway is not ignore collagen. The real world takeaway is use it intelligently, expect modest benefits, and do not mistake a promising supplement for a miracle. That mindset protects both your wallet and your expectations. Because the worst thing you can do is treat collagen peptides like a replacement for the foundations of skin health. They are not. If you are smoking, not sleeping, skipping protein, living in the sun without protection, and expecting one scoop in water to erase all of that, you are asking too much of it. Collagen peptides can be one useful piece of a larger strategy. They are not the whole strategy. Your skin still needs sun protection. Your body still needs adequate dietary protein. Your cells still need vitamin C available somewhere in your diet because vitamin C is essential for collagen synthesis. So yes, add the peptides to water, but keep the bigger picture intact. That also means you should not confuse collagen peptides with flavored wellness dust. Some products hide behind words like radiance, renew, beauty matrix, or cellular glow complex, and when you actually turn the tub around, there is very little collagen in it, or the dose is tiny, or the price is absurd, or the formula is mostly sweetener. If you are going to do this, do the plain version. Do the ingredient you can identify, do the one with a clear serving size, and if you can get an unflavored powder, you can stir into water, coffee, or a smoothie without fuss. That is often the smartest route. Boring works, especially in health. Now let me give you the practical routine I would actually recommend for a senior who wants to try this intelligently. Pick one hydrolyzed collagen peptide powder with a straightforward label. Start with the serving size listed on the container, especially if your stomach is sensitive. Stir it into a large glass or bottle of water once a day. Keep the rest of your hydration normal. Do not replace all water with supplement drinks. Just upgrade one daily glass. Then stay with it for 8 to 12 weeks before you judge it. Take a photo at the beginning in the same light because memory is unreliable. Most people do not remember their baseline accurately, and photos prevent self-deception. If you want to be even more strategic, pair that daily habit with a meal or snack that contains vitamin C-rich foods during the day. I am not saying you must dump vitamin C powder into the same glass unless that suits you. I'm saying give the body the nutritional context it uses for collagen formation. Bell peppers, berries, citrus, kiwi, broccoli, those things matter. So do overall protein intake and basic skin care. This is why I keep saying collagen peptides are a tool, not a solo performance. They work best in a body that has the other ingredients available too. Otherwise, you are trying to renovate a house while half the crew never showed up. And progress gets limited. I also need to say a word about side effects and common sense. Most collagen supplements are well tolerated, but well tolerated does not mean perfect for every person. Some people get bloating, mild stomach upset, or reflux. If you have a fish allergy, do not use marine collagen. If you are on a medically restricted protein diet, or you have significant kidney disease and your clinician has you limiting certain protein loads, please ask before adding any daily supplement. That is not fear-mongering. That is just being responsible. Health advice should still respect the whole person. So yes, I am enthusiastic about smart use of collagen peptides, but I am not careless about it, and neither should you be. Now, somewhere around this point in the video, many people start wondering, why not just drink bone broth? Fair question. Bone broth can be a perfectly enjoyable food, but it is not the same as a standardized hydrolyzed collagen peptide supplement. The peptide profile is variable. The concentration is variable. The amount you get from one batch to the next is variable. That inconsistency makes it a weak experiment if your goal is to test whether collagen peptides help your skin over time. If you simply enjoy bone broth, wonderful. But if you want something measurable and repeatable, hydrolyzed peptides in a known serving are far more useful. Precision matters, especially when you are evaluating results. And please do not fall for the idea that more is always better. That is another trap. Bigger scoops do not necessarily mean better skin. Some human studies use doses lower than people expect and still showed changes. Once you get into the mentality that if one scoop is good, then 4 must be amazing, you stop behaving like a thoughtful adult and start behaving like a supplement marketer. I do not want that for you. I want you to use the smallest effective routine you can actually sustain. That is what makes habits last. And lasting habits beat intense, short-lived enthusiasm almost every time. Small, repeatable, calm routines win, especially after 60. If you have not subscribed yet, this is the moment. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because every week I break down health information for older adults in a way is practical, honest, and actually usable. I do not care about impressing you with jargon. I care about helping you make better decisions with your body, your money, and your time. And if this video is helping you already, give it a thumbs up. That simple click helps this message reach other seniors who are spending money on the wrong things while ignoring the few strategies that may actually help. And yes, that matters more than most people think because good information spreads slowly. Let's come back to appearance for a second because I know that is why many of you clicked. You want firmer skin, you want fewer lines, you want to look less tired. There is nothing shallow about that. When your face changes in a way that makes you feel older than you feel inside, it affects confidence. It affects social energy. It affects whether you want to be in photographs, whether you want to go out, whether you feel like yourself. So when I talk about collagen, I am not just talking about vanity. I am talking about identity. And if one upgraded glass of water each day can support that process, even modestly, then it is absolutely worth understanding rather than dismissing. But I also want to protect you from disappointment. Collagen peptides are not injectable filler. They are not a facelift. They are not retinol. They are not sunscreen. They are not going to erase severe laxity or decades of sun damage by themselves. What they may do, and this is the right frame, is help older skin become a little more hydrated, a little more elastic, and a little less visibly worn over time when used consistently. That is a meaningful promise. It is also a believable promise. I prefer believable promises. The beauty industry feeds on desperation. I would rather give you something calmer, more grounded, and honestly more respectful than that. So if you remember only one sentence from this entire video, let it be this: plain water hydrates you, but collagen peptides give that daily glass a structural purpose. That is the sentence. That is the shift. It moves you from generic hydration to targeted support. And for aging skin, targeted support is what matters. Not because aging is a problem to be ashamed of, but because aging skin deserves better tools than slogans. Drink more water is a slogan. Use your water to deliver a consistent, evidence-informed collagen peptide habit is a strategy. One is vague, the other is actionable. And actionable advice is what changes routines, and routines are what change outcomes. Here is exactly what I would do if I were starting from zero. I would choose one clean hydrolyzed collagen peptide powder. I would add 1 serving to water every morning. I would keep doing that for at least 8 weeks. I would take beginning and follow-up photos. I would keep my expectations realistic. I would continue using sunscreen, eating enough protein, and getting vitamin C-rich foods. Then I would ask one question, and only one: does my skin feel and look better than it did before I started? If the answer is yes, continue. If the answer is no after a fair trial, stop. Simple, measured, adult. That is how this should be approached, not emotionally. And I will leave you with this: your skin is not failing you. It is revealing what time, hormones, sun, and biology have been doing quietly for years. That is not defeat. That is information. And when you respond to that information with better inputs, better habits, and better expectations, your skin often responds more than people think. Not instantly, not dramatically, but meaningfully. If you are over 60, you do not need more hype. You need clearer cause and effect. So stop treating plain water like it is the whole answer. Keep drinking water, yes, but add the one thing that gives that habit more purpose: hydrolyzed collagen peptides. That may be the simplest skin upgrade you make this year, and one of the smartest. Before you go, do 2 things for me. First, subscribe if you have not already, because I have more evidence-based videos coming for adults over 60. Second, tell me in the comments whether you would try collagen peptides in your water, and if you already do, tell me how long you've been using them and what changes you noticed first. Was it dryness, texture, fine lines, firmness? I want to know. And if you want me to make a follow-up video on how to choose the best collagen peptide powder without wasting money, say part 2 in the comments. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.